The alarm sounded 3 times before Joe Rodriguez looked up from his coffee. The Deep Space Monitoring Station on Europa wasn't known for excitement. Most days passed with nothing but routine checks and system updates. "Sir, you need to see this," said Susan Ford, her eyes fixed on the screen. "The sensors are picking up strange energy readings at the edge of our solar system." Joe moved to her station and frowned. "That's not a meteor shower or a comet. Call it in." Within hours, Commander Frank Miller of the United Space Coalition vessel U.S. Horizon received orders to investigate. At 45, Frank had spent more than half his life in space, but never had he faced something like this. "All hands, prepare for long-range jump," he announced over the ship's communication system. "We have unusual energy signatures beyond Pluto's orbit." The U.S. Horizon was humanity's newest explorer ship, built for deep space missions, but never tested this far out. As they approached the coordinates, the crew grew silent. "My God," whispered Navigation Officer Kelly Barnes. That's a fleet." The main screen showed what nobody on Earth had ever seen before: over 30 massive vessels, each larger than the biggest human spaceships. They floated motionless against the black backdrop of space, occasional flashes of light pulsing from their damaged engines. "No signs of aggression," reported Weapons Officer Dan Collins. "In fact, most of their systems seem offline." Frank straightened his uniform. "Open all communication channels. Let's see if they can understand us." For 3 tense hours, the Horizon broadcast greetings in every human language. Finally, a response came, first as strange symbols on their screens, then as rough English after their computers processed the alien language. "This is Admiral Zex Tora of the Valkyrie diplomatic fleet. Identify yourselves." The video feed showed a tall, slender being with features reminiscent of birds, sharp eyes, a slight forward curve to the face, and skin covered in small, flat scales that shimmered like feathers. Frank introduced himself and humanity with simple, clear words. "We detected your ships and came to investigate. Are you in need of assistance?" The alien admiral's translator took a moment before responding. "Your offer is unexpected. Our fleet suffered critical damage passing through an anomaly in this region. Our quantum displacement drives are inoperable." "What happened?" Frank asked. "We were traveling to the Galactic Council Summit when our fleet encountered a subspace rift. We did not expect to find intelligent life in this system." The admiral paused. "Are you offering help or seeking advantage of our situation?" Frank looked around at his crew, knowing his next words would be humanity's first real diplomatic exchange with alien life. "Admiral Zex Tora, Earth has dreamed of meeting other intelligent species for centuries. We offer our help freely." The Valkyrie admiral's expression was unreadable to human eyes, but the long silence told Frank enough. They were surprised. "Your species is not known to us," Zex Tora finally said. "Your technology appears basic. How could you assist?" Frank smiled. "Sometimes fresh eyes see solutions others miss. May I send a small team to assess the damage?" Back on Earth, news of the contact spread quickly. Government leaders argued about the risks, military officials demanded caution, and everyday people looked to the sky with new wonder and fear. President Laura Carter addressed the world from the Oval Office. "Today marks humanity's first step into a larger community of worlds. The Valkyrie need our help, and we will provide it. We will show the stars what humanity stands for." Within days, Earth's small space fleet mobilized for a rescue operation unlike anything humans had attempted before. No one knew it yet, but the stranded alien fleet would change humanity's destiny forever. Olivia Wright rubbed her tired eyes as the shuttle approached the massive Valkyrie command ship. At 34, she was the youngest chief engineer in the Mars Colonial Authority, known for solving problems others couldn't. But nothing in her career had prepared her for this. "Welcome to the impossible job," she mumbled to herself. The shuttle docked with a gentle thud. Olivia led her team of 6 human engineers through the airlock, their toolkits and portable computers looking small and primitive next to the sleek alien technology. "The humans have arrived," announced a Valkyrie voice. Technical Officer Krevel stood nearly 7 feet tall, his feather-like scales shimmering blue under the ship's lights. "Follow me to the engine core." As they walked through the ship, Olivia noticed the Valkyrie crew watching them with what she guessed was a mixture of curiosity and doubt. She couldn't blame them. Humanity had only achieved reliable space travel 60 years ago. The engine room took Olivia's breath away. A massive sphere of swirling energy pulsed weakly at its center, surrounded by control panels covered in symbols no human had ever seen. "This is our quantum displacement drive," Kreval explained. "It allows us to fold space around our vessels." The subspace anomaly damaged the phase regulators in all 34 ships simultaneously. Olivia approached the controls carefully. "May I scan the systems?" Kreval made a gesture that might have been a shrug. "You will not understand what you see, but yes." For 3 days, Olivia and her team worked alongside increasingly frustrated Valkyrie engineers. They took readings, studied the alien technology, and sent data back to Earth, where scientist Alan Garcia and his team worked around the clock to understand it. On the 4th day, Alan's excited face appeared on Olivia's screen. "The quantum drives work on principles we've only theorized. The problem isn't the drives themselves, it's the energy regulation system. Can we fix it?" Olivia asked. "Not with their methods," Alan replied, "but maybe with ours." That afternoon, Olivia stood before Admiral Zex Tora and Kreval with a proposal that made the Valkyrie technical officer's scales flare in what she now recognized as disbelief. "You want to connect your primitive fusion engines to our quantum cores?" Kreval asked. "That would be like using a stone axe to repair a laser." "Sometimes old tools work when nothing else will," Olivia replied calmly. "Your energy regulators are too damaged to restart the quantum cores. Our fusion engines can provide a crude but effective jumpstart." Admiral Zex Tora studied the human engineer. "Your plan risks further damage to our fleet." "Yes," Olivia admitted, "but you've been stranded for weeks, and your own methods haven't worked. Sometimes, a new perspective helps." After intense debate among the Valkyrie leadership, they agreed to try Olivia's solution on one ship. Human shuttles delivered fusion generators, and work began immediately. As the repairs progressed, Security Chief Lisa Powell approached Olivia with troubling news. "We found evidence of tampering on the 3rd Valkyrie vessel. The damage wasn't just from the anomaly. Someone deliberately sabotaged their systems." Olivia frowned. "Are you saying this wasn't an accident?" "I'm saying we need to watch our backs," Lisa replied. "Not everyone wants this rescue to succeed." That night, as Olivia worked late in the engine room, she noticed a shadow moving near the newly installed human equipment. She reached for her communicator just as the lights suddenly went out. In the darkness, something moved toward her. Something that wasn't human or Valkyrie. "Who's there?" she called, her voice echoing in the massive chamber. The only answer was the sound of metal striking metal, and then a warning alarm began to blare throughout the ship. Victor Martinez stood at the window of his New York office, watching ships land in the newly built alien diplomatic zone. As United Nations Secretary General, he never imagined he would welcome visitors from other planets. Yet here he was, preparing for his 3rd meeting with alien representatives in a week. "Sir, the Tellurian ambassador has arrived," his assistant said. Victor straightened his tie. "Send them in." The door opened to reveal a being with smooth gray skin and 4 arms. Ambassador Orcs of the Tellurian Federation bowed slightly. "Secretary General Martinez, my government is most interested in your association with the Valkyrie fleet." Victor gestured to a chair. "It's not an association, Ambassador. We're simply helping stranded travelers." Lorix's large eyes blinked slowly. "No one simply helps the Valkyrie. They are one of the 7 major powers of the Galactic Council. Their presence here is concerning to many worlds." We didn't know any of this when we offered help, Victor said. Earth only recently developed space travel. We didn't know about the Galactic Council or your politics. A convenient position, Lorix replied, yet one that has thrust your planet into the center of a delicate political balance. After the Tellurian left, Victor called an emergency meeting of the United Earth Security Council. Representatives from all continents gathered around a large table. We need to understand what we've stepped into, he told them. 5 alien species have sent envoys this week, all asking about the Valkyrie. The European representative leaned forward. Do we continue helping them? Some people are protesting, saying we should focus on Earth's problems. We can't back out now, the African representative said. We gave our word. A soft chime interrupted them. The Valkyrie ambassador Thelzera requested to join the meeting. On the screen, her feathered scales shimmered with concern. Honorable humans, she began, I must share the truth of our situation. The room grew quiet as she explained. Our convoy carries crucial voting delegates to the Galactic Council. Without our votes, the Drakari hegemony will gain control. They are expansionists who believe stronger species should rule weaker ones. Like what happened throughout human history, Victor noted. Yes, Thelzora agreed. The Drakari have been watching Earth for decades, waiting for you to reach certain technological markers before making contact. They consider your planet a potential resource. The news spread quickly across Earth. In cities worldwide, people gathered to discuss, debate, and sometimes argue about humanity's new place in a crowded galaxy. In Chicago, Sam Peterson watched the news with his family. I can't believe we're not alone, he said. And not only that, but there's a whole political system out there. His wife Kate nodded. And now we have to pick sides before we even understand the game. Their teenage daughter Lily looked up from her tablet. My friends think we should help the Valkyrie. Their ships look so cool, and they haven't tried to hurt us. Not everyone feels that way, Sam said, pointing to the TV showing protesters. Some signs read Earth first and solve human problems before alien ones. Back at the UN, Victor received troubling news. A Drakari battle cruiser had been detected entering the solar system. They claimed it's a diplomatic vessel, his military advisor said. But our scans show weapons powered up. Victor looked at the image of the massive warship. Tell Commander Miller to speed up those repairs and put all Earth defenses on alert. He turned to the window, watching the alien ship approach Earth like a dark cloud. We wanted to join the galactic community, he said quietly. I just hope we survive the introduction. Lisa Powell moved silently through the dimly lit corridors of the Valkyrie flagship. At 38, the security chief had spent 15 years in the military before joining the space program. Now she was hunting for a saboteur on an alien ship. Any movement in Section 4? She whispered into her communicator. Nothing yet, replied her Valkyrie counterpart, Commander Jalven. His deep voice carried even through the small device. But the energy readings are stronger here. After finding evidence of sabotage on 3 ships, Lisa and Jalven had formed an unlikely partnership. The Valkyrie officer had been doubtful of human security methods at first, but came to respect Lisa's instincts. I'm approaching the auxiliary control room, Lisa said. Something's not right. The door is open. Wait for backup, Jalven warned. The saboteur may be dangerous. Lisa drew her stun weapon and peered around the corner. Inside, a figure in Valkyrie uniform worked quickly at a control panel, but something about the way it moved seemed wrong. Freeze, Lisa called out, stepping into the doorway. The figure turned, and Lisa gasped. Its face seemed to shift and flow like liquid metal, features melting and reforming. Security breach in auxiliary control, Section 4. She shouted into her communicator as she fired her weapon. The stun blast hit the creature, but it only slowed for a moment before leaping toward her with unnatural speed. Lisa dodged, rolling to one side as the creature crashed into the wall behind her. Alarms blared throughout the ship as the chase began. The shapeshifter fled through the corridors, changing its appearance to match different crew members it passed. It's heading for the engine room, Jalvin called over the comm system. In the engine room, Ryan Patel, one of Olivia's engineers, worked alone on the power connections. He looked up at the sound of running footsteps. "Is everything okay?" he asked as what appeared to be a Valkyrie engineer rushed in. The engineer grabbed Ryan, its arm wrapping around his neck. "Stay back," it shouted as Lisa and a team of Valkyrie security officers entered the room. "Drakari spy," Jalvin hissed, his scales flaring in anger. "Release the human." The creature's face shifted again, revealing its true form, gray skin with ridges and yellow eyes. "The repairs must not be completed," it said. "The Valkyrie must not reach the council." Lisa lowered her weapon slightly. "No one needs to get hurt. Let Ryan go." "Your species doesn't understand what's at stake," the Drakari spy replied. "The galaxy needs strong leadership. The Valkyrie and their allies are weak." "Taking hostages seems pretty weak to me," Lisa said, inching closer. "Let's talk about this." As the spy's attention focused on Lisa, Ryan made his move. He jabbed his elbow hard into the creature's side. The spy loosened its grip just enough for Ryan to break free. In that moment, Lisa lunged forward. The spy drew a strange weapon, firing a burst of energy that hit the ceiling. Part of it collapsed, and Lisa pushed Ryan clear as debris fell toward them. Pain exploded in Lisa's leg as a metal beam pinned her down. The spy moved to attack, but Jalvin and his team fired together. The Drakari fell, its shape-shifting ability failing as it lost consciousness. "Lisa," Ryan called, pulling rubble away from her injured leg. Jalvin knelt beside her. "You saved him," he said, his voice filled with something like respect. "Just doing my job," Lisa managed, despite the pain. Later, in the Valkyrie medical bay, Admiral Hora visited Lisa as doctors treated her broken leg. "The prisoner has confessed," the Admiral said. "The accident that stranded us was planned by the Drakari to prevent our delegation from reaching the council vote." "Well," Lisa smiled weakly, glad we could help mess up their plans. Admiral Hora placed a metallic emblem beside her bed. "This is the mark of the Protector, our highest honor for those who risk themselves for others. You are the first human to receive it." Outside the medical bay, Olivia received good news from the engine room. The first ship's quantum drive is online. The human solution worked. Commander Miller's voice came through on the communication channel. "Good timing. Our sensors show the Drakari battle group has changed course. They're heading straight for us, and they're not here to talk." Commander Frank Miller stared at the message displayed on the main screen of the U.S. horizon. The transmission had arrived from the far reaches of the galaxy, sent through the Valkyrie communication system. "They're calling for an early vote," Ambassador Thelzera explained, her voice tight with worry. "The Drakari representative has told the Galactic Council that our government is in crisis since our ships disappeared." Frank frowned. "But you're not in crisis. You're just delayed. Without our delegation present to prove otherwise, many will believe the Drakari claims," Thelzera said. "The vote on the Drakari expansion initiative will happen in 3 days instead of 2 weeks." The news quickly spread through both human and Valkyrie crews. Repair teams worked around the clock, pushing themselves to exhaustion. In the engine room of the Valkyrie flagship, Olivia Wright hadn't slept in 30 hours. Her hands were steady as she connected the final power coupling. "The human solution isn't pretty," she told Admiral Hora, "but it's working. We've restored power to 7 ships, including your 3 largest cruisers." The Admiral nodded. "Your species continues to surprise us. Your methods lack elegance but show remarkable creativity. Sometimes the ugly fix is the one that works." Olivia smiled tiredly. "We should have enough ships operational to carry your delegation in 24 hours. Meanwhile, on the U.S. Horizons Bridge, Navigator Kelly Barnes called out urgently, "Commander, long-range sensors are picking up multiple ships entering the solar system." Frank moved to her station. Drakari. Yes, sir. A battle group of 8 vessels. Their course will intercept us in approximately 10 hours. Frank called an emergency meeting with Admirals Xtora and the human fleet captains. Around a large table, they studied the holographic display of the approaching Drakari ships. They claim to be coming to assist, Frank explained, but their weapons are powered, and their course is designed to cut off our exit vector. Admiral Xtora's scales darkened with concern. They mean to ensure we miss the council vote. We won't let that happen, Frank said firmly. We have a plan. Back on Earth, Secretary General Victor Martinez addressed the United Nations. The Drakari have requested permission to enter Earth space to assist with the Valkyrie fleet. We have delayed our answer while Commander Miller implements his strategy. In space, the U.S. Horizon prepared for the most important mission in human history. The ship's new stealth technology, originally designed for scientific observation, was being repurposed. The plan is simple, Frank told his crew. The Valkyrie diplomatic vessels will depart on a course away from the Drakari approach vector. The U.S. Horizon and the Valkyrie flagship will mask their departure with our stealth field. Will it work? Asked Weapons Officer Dan Collins. Their sensors are more advanced than ours. It has to work, Frank replied. The future of the galaxy might depend on it. As the Drakari fleet approached, 2 Valkyrie cruisers and 3 smaller diplomatic vessels prepared to leave. The most essential Valkyrie delegates boarded, along with Ambassador Thelzera. Remember, Frank told the captain of the lead Valkyrie ship, follow the course exactly. Even a small deviation could reveal your position. Lisa Powell, still recovering from her injuries, insisted on joining the diplomatic mission. Someone needs to represent Earth, she said from her hover chair. And I've earned the Valkyrie's trust. As the small fleet prepared to depart, Olivia rushed into the command center. We've got a problem. The Drakari are scanning for our quantum energy signature. They'll detect the ships the moment they power up. Frank's mind raced. Then he smiled. Then we'll give them something bigger to look at. He turned to Admiral Xtora. How bright would all your ship's quantum drives look if they powered up at once? The Admiral's eyes widened in understanding. Like a sun, all ships, prepare for Operation Sunrise. Commander Frank Miller's voice echoed across the combined human Valkyrie fleet. On my mark. The Drakari battle group had entered the outer solar system, their sleek warships arranged in a blocking formation. Their commander, General Vorkath, appeared on the communication screen. This is General Vorkath of the Drakari hegemony, he announced, his gray face showing no emotion. We have come to assist the stranded Valkyrie fleet. Power down your vessels and prepare to be boarded. Frank exchanged glances with Admiral Xtora. General, this is Commander Miller of Earth. The Valkyrie are under our protection. They don't need your assistance. Humans, Vorkath said with clear disdain. Your species is new to the stars. Do not involve yourselves in matters you don't understand. Frank smiled. We understand just fine. The Valkyrie need to reach the council vote. While they kept the Drakari general talking, the 5 ships carrying the Valkyrie diplomatic corps silently moved into position on the far side of Jupiter. Their engines were powered down, making them nearly invisible to sensors. Now Frank whispered into his communicator. At once, every repaired Valkyrie ship activated their quantum drives at partial power. The energy surge created a blinding flash on all sensors. What is happening? Demanded Vorkath. Just testing our repairs, Frank replied calmly. In the confusion, the 5 diplomatic vessels powered up and accelerated away from the solar system along a course the Drakari weren't watching. On the bridge of the lead diplomatic ship, Lisa Powell watched the blue marble of Earth grow smaller. Next to her, Ambassador Thelzera stood tall and proud. Your Commander Miller is quite clever, the ambassador said. The Drakari will be focused on the energy surge for several minutes. Let's hope that's enough time, Lisa replied. Back at the main fleet, The Drakari general wasn't fooled for long. "You've launched ships," he accused. "This will be considered an act of hostility, just like sabotaging the Valkyrie fleet was an act of hostility," Frank asked pointedly. The Drakari ships began to move, changing course to pursue the escaping diplomatic vessels. Frank gave his final order. "All ships, defensive pattern Delta. Protect those diplomats." What followed was a desperate space battle unlike anything humans had experienced. The combined human-Valkyrie fleet moved to intercept the Drakari warships, not firing weapons but positioning themselves as shields. The U.S. Horizon took the lead, using its more advanced engines to stay between the Drakari and the escaping ships. 2 Drakari cruisers fired warning shots that came dangerously close. "They're trying to scare us off," Weapons Officer Dan Collins said. "It won't work," Frank replied. "Hold position." On a Valkyrie medical transport, Olivia Wright worked frantically to keep their systems online as a Drakari ship approached. "They're targeting our engines," the Valkyrie captain warned. Suddenly, the U.S. Horizon appeared, placing itself directly in the line of fire. The Drakari vessel hesitated. "They won't fire directly on us," Frank explained over the communication link. "The Drakari don't want humans as enemies too." His gamble paid off. After several tense hours, the diplomatic ships reached the edge of the solar system. The moment they were clear, they activated their quantum drives at full power. Space itself seemed to bend around them as they vanished into folded space. "They made it," Kelly Barnes announced, and cheers erupted across the human ships. Admiral Zex Tora approached Frank on the bridge. "Commander Miller, your tactics were unconventional but effective. The Drakari are withdrawing." The Admiral paused, then continued. "We would be honored if 3 of your ships would accompany us to the Galactic Council." Frank raised an eyebrow. "Is that allowed?" "It is unprecedented," the Admiral admitted. "But so is everything about our encounter with humanity. It is time for the galaxy to meet Earth officially." Frank looked at the view screen where the stars beckoned. "Well, we did come all this way. It would be a shame to miss the party." Frank Miller had seen many amazing things in his years as a space commander, but nothing prepared him for the Galactic Council headquarters. The massive space station orbited a neutron star, its structure spanning miles of curved metal and crystal. Ships of all shapes and sizes moved around it like fish in a cosmic sea. "It's beautiful," he whispered as the U.S. Horizon approached alongside the Valkyrie flagship. "The station was built 10,000 years ago," Admiral Zex Tora explained. "Over 500 species maintain representatives here." In the docking bay, a welcome party waited. Beings of all descriptions watched curiously as the first official human delegation stepped from their ship. Frank led the way with Olivia Wright and Lisa Powell, still using a hover chair for her injured leg, beside him. The Valkyrie arrived with "humans," whispered voices in the crowd. The word spread quickly through the station. Ambassador Thelzera met them, her scales gleaming with formal decorations. "The council session begins in 1 hour. The Drakari representatives are already trying to call the vote." "Did we make it in time?" Lisa asked anxiously. "Yes," Thelzera smiled. "Thanks to you." The Galactic Council chamber took Frank's breath away. Thousands of seats rose in circles around a central speaking platform. Species of every imaginable type filled the seats, many using translation devices to follow the proceedings. The human delegation was given a small viewing area behind the Valkyrie section. As they entered, the chamber grew quiet, thousands of alien eyes turning to study them. A tall, silver-skinned being with 4 arms called the session to order. "The Council recognizes the Valkyrie delegation, who have arrived to cast their votes on the Drakari Expansion Initiative." From across the chamber, the Drakari representatives rose in protest. They arrived suspiciously late, with an unknown species in tow. "This is a violation of protocol." The delay was caused by Drakari sabotage, Ambassador Thelzera announced clearly. Her words caused an uproar in the chamber. "We have proof," She continued when order was restored. A Drakari agent confessed to sabotaging our fleet. We would have been lost if not for the humans of Earth, who found us stranded and offered help without asking for anything in return. Images appeared on screens throughout the chamber. Humans working alongside Valkyrie. The battle with the Drakari ships. Lisa saving the Valkyrie engineer from the saboteur. The Silver Council leader spoke. Is this true? Did these humans risk themselves to help you when you were more advanced and had nothing to offer them? Yes, Admiral Zex Torres stepped forward. They showed courage, creativity, and compassion. They fought to protect us without firing a single weapon. The chamber filled with murmurs of disbelief and wonder. When the vote was finally called, the Drakari Expansion Initiative was defeated by a wide margin. The Drakari representatives left the chamber in anger. Then something unexpected happened. Admiral Zex Torres approached the central platform. The Valkyrie wished to nominate Earth for provisional membership in the Galactic Council, he announced. Gasps and exclamations filled the chamber. The council leader raised all four hands for silence. This is unprecedented, he said. The preparation period for new species is typically 50 years. Earth has proven itself ready, the Admiral insisted. They show qualities our galaxy needs. After hours of debate, the council voted again. Frank, Olivia, and Lisa held their breath as the results appeared. Earth is granted provisional membership status. The council leader announced. The humans may establish an embassy on the council station. Later, as they stood at a viewing window overlooking the neutron star, Admiral Zex Torres joined the human delegation. Why is everyone so surprised by what we did? Frank asked. Helping others seems like common sense. That, the Admiral said, is why you shocked the galaxy. No species in our records has ever put themselves at risk to help a more advanced civilization without guarantee of reward. Perhaps it is not humanity that has much to learn from the galaxy, but the galaxy that has something to learn from humanity. As the news reached Earth, humans looked to the stars with new understanding. They were not the most advanced species, but they had shown something equally valuable: heart. #, the end.